You guys already know the drill. I've been spoiling you with this kind of video even though most of you don't show back any appreciation, and by that I mean a like and a subscribe that cost you nothing. We've had 03 Ronnie Coleman, 2013 Phil Heath and 1993 Dorian Yates on the Olympia stage in the past days. And continuing with the past legends, now it's Jay Cutler's turn with his legendary 2009 version. I'm not gonna spoil you anymore. If this video doesn't get 1000 likes, we're gonna stop the series here. I was going to put others on this stage, maybe Kai Green, maybe Andrew Jack's Texas Pro version, but at this point, this is too much work for not so many views, unfortunately, and I gotta eat too. So as usual, we have the top 4 from this year's Olympia first call out: Samson, Dauda, Hadi, Choopan, Derek Lunsford and Martin Fitzwater, where this time the cut above the rest Jay Cutler with his 2009 version joins them on stage. Front double biceps. Unlike Ronnie, Phil and Dorian, Jay kinda fits in better in this lineup in this pose, as he too hits a semi-vacuum pose here, blending in pretty nicely. All the other legends, even though looking crazy, looked out of sync with today's lineup, where all guys hit a vacuum besides being nice, round and full. Jay is also wide as a barn door, arguably the widest bodybuilder of all time, at least for his stature. But where Jay has these guys beat badly is the actual arms. I think Jay is rather underrated when it comes to the arms and especially the biceps. People kinda neglect the fact that Jay had full arms with crazy biceps peaks and they were deeply separated with the triceps sweeps. Also lower body wise, Jay has arguably the best quads of all time. Now, these 2009 peaks are taken from an angle where they don't look as impressive as in reality, but we can still notice that he has the best muscle separation and definition through the quads. And we're talking about a lineup having guys like Hadi, Choopan, Samson, Dauda and Martin Fitzwater, all looking good for Jay until now, but he's held down by his not so impressive structure, having shorter limbs, a longer torso and a pretty wide waist. In my estimation, he would still take first place, but I'm not sure today's judging criteria would agree with that. A guy like Samson might get preferred instead. What do you guys think? Front lat spread. Now, despite Jay being one of the widest bodybuilders ever, the reason we don't remember him as being a true powerhouse in this pose has to do again with his overall structure. Some might say that his lats were not the best, since Jay's back overall was one of his weaker departments, but that's not it actually. The problem, if you wanna call it that, is that he's got short and thick arms, which are not ideal for this pose. The same reason Derek doesn't look as good as expected, even though he has a crazy taper. Don't get me wrong, Jay is still in the running for first place in this pose, but it's close between him, Samson and Hadi. Personally, again, I prefer Jay, but the judges might prefer Samson in this pose based on what I'm seeing today. Side chest, another pose where Jay is underrated. Now, his overall thickness comes to his advantage. His powerful arms and shoulders coupled with his great chest combined with his great outer quad in the side leg make this pose a strong candidate to win here. However, Jay's chest was a bit on the flat side in 09 compared to say 2006 when he was at his biggest ever. In this lineup, I still think a guy like Samson Dauda is favored against Jay, who has the best chest and a much bigger structure overall that helps his case. Even Derek and Martin would give Jay problems, so this one is a bit tougher for the cut above the rest. Back double biceps. By the looks of it, when it comes to the actual back as a whole, Jay finds himself in trouble. His back overall looking the worst because of his melting lower lats. Upper back, he is on par with these guys, at least with Hadi, and he also wins lower body overall, being the most complete through all muscle groups, glutes, hams, outer quads and calves. His arms are also the best, but the focal point of the pose and the most important aspect, namely the back itself, makes Jay fight to avoid last place with Hadi here, in my opinion. The back lat spread is a better pose for him, but unfortunately for him, so it is for Hadi, which means that Jay finds himself having the most underwhelming back in this whole lineup, and again, despite having the most complete lower body, having the weakest back won't get you too much in a back pose, so Jay might actually be dead last in the back lat spread. However, he comes back strong in the side triceps, another strong yet underrated pose for Jay. He's got the best arm and the best triceps in this lineup, rivaled by Samson when it comes to the triceps, who also showcases some of his long head, not just the lateral head with his execution. Jay also has a nice chest and a great midsection in this pose. His midsection is quite underrated in the side triceps. His lower body doesn't look the best as he's not sitting enough on his hamstrings to showcase it more, and his right quad is the downsized one. As we all know, he has unbalanced quads. He hides it pretty well through his posing though. Overall, I would have Jay fighting Samson to win this pose. Abs and thighs. Despite his blocky structure, he goes directly and challenges the king of this pose, Hadi Choopan. They both have carved out of stone abs and great quads. Hadi wins the abs, but Jay wins the quads. Hadi also has the more aesthetic look. Some people wanna include the quad stomp as an abs and thighs pose, and even though it's arguably the most impressive single shot ever on the Olympia stage, I wouldn't count it as an abs and thighs. For Jay to take second place behind Hadi Choopan here is more than fair, I would say. Last pose is the most muscular, and Jay looked awesome in 2009 in the crab variation. I think he has Martin beat overall. Even though Martin is strong, Jay wins the arms overall as a plus. I also think Jay beats Samson's crab. Samson is bigger overall, but Jay has better quality. Jay obviously beats Derek, who is not the best in the most muscular, as we all know. And between Jay and Hadi, it's two different variations. Hadi has the hardness, but Jay has the superior arms and shoulders. It could go either way. Who do you guys have winning the most muscular here? Overall, to the question of where Jay Cutler would place in today's lineup, my answer is, without hesitation, first. He was 1 or 2 in all the poses except for the back poses. He's the most complete top to bottom, with arguably his only real weakness being his lower lats. He has indeed a blockier physique, but he poses very well around that. He has the conditioning, the hardness, everything. Jay also has the aura. He looks like a real Mr. Olympia. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you guys think about this comparison and about this series as a whole? Remember, if you want it to continue, we really have to get this video to 1000 likes. Since many thousands are gonna watch, you have to show me you want this to continue, and I ask only for a click. Don't forget to also leave a comment on this matchup and subscribe so you won't miss my future updates. See you soon.